Game 2 of this doubleheader starting. Groves will be the home team the second half of this twin bill. Seaholm's Hope Hughes leading things off, followed by Emma Weber, Lola Weber, Becca Hagel, Sophia Hankey, Abby Pinch, Leah McLean, Gigi Hill, and Reagan Johnson. Falcon deep, Hankey, Hughes, Weber, and McLean around the infield. Abby Pinch getting the start in the circle. Check that. Hammers, Lesevich, Quinn, Gherkin around the infield for the Falcons. Blank behind the plate. Emma Borkowski in the circle for the Falcons. Hot shot past Quinn at second base. Leadoff single for Hope Hughes.
Well, the Maples are picking up where they left off from game 1. Sharp single to start this one off.
The second baseman,
Roy Lockwood Heller, the outfield defense for the Falcons. Wasting no time between these two games.
Yeah, was that a little quicker than the usual downtime? I heard that player announce, and I was standing in front of the bleachers like, okay, I better get up there.
I'm glad to have you.
Well, it's nothing quite like it, Brad. We've earned baseball and softball. It's been a long year, and we're finally reaching the apex.
Swung on, line shot to the right fielder. Couple steps in for Heller to make the catch.
The left fielder, number 6, Lola Weber.
And this play is better. I mean, she made it look a lot easier than it was. Heller came in. She had to make a play on it. The sun is starting to set a little bit, and it's bright up there. To see a ball, you can see she's got her hand over her eyes.
A runner able to scamper down to second base. Lola Weber at the plate. Left fielder batting third in Bill Sherman's batting lineup. Opportunity here. High fly ball, towering fly ball to the center fielder Lockwood. Second out of the inning. It'll leave things up to Rebecca Hagel. That was a rainmaker, that pop-up.
That could make a day like today, Rain.
Cleanup hitter Hagel getting the start in center field. Hagel finished game 1 2 for 3, able to check her swing that time. No appeal. Which finds the strike zone. (10-0) our final score in game 1. It went the way of the Maples. A lot of late add-on runs, especially in the bottom of the 6th inning. Saw the Maples score 7 runs as they end up mercying the Falcons. Oh no. An absolutely huge collision. The field umpire is going to call time.
Oh no, that did not look good.
As it was
players
Quinn,
converged, going for it.
Kennedy Quinn, that took the brunt of that collision. It was the shortstop and the second baseman coming together. Sydney Lesevich and Kennedy Quinn. And with Quinn down, why don't we take a quick break here on BACB Sports?
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to BACB Sports. There you can see Kennedy Quinn back up on 2 feet. A very scary collision there defensively as the second baseman and the shortstop come together. And Kennedy Quinn is going to stay in this ball game.
Well, probably very fortuitous that she had that mask on. Because, like you said, Brad, she took the brunt of a collision out there. 2 players converging right near second base. And it was Brick Wall City.
So the field ump signaled dead ball, but apparently they allowed the run to score. So we'll call it a single for Hagel, and evidently an RBI. Hope Hughes did not come home prior to time being called by the field umpire.
Okay.
But that might have just been an instance where he awarded Hope Hughes home plate. We'll go under that assumption that she would have scored.
Anyway.
Snap throw down to first. Sophia Hankey getting the start at third base. Had a phenomenal game 1 in replacement. And this time a ground out to the shortstop, Lezovich, to end the inning. Maples score a run on 2 hits and take the 1-0 lead.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back to Birmingham Groves High School, bottom of the first inning. Let's meet the Falcons starting lineup. Leading things off will be the left fielder J.C. Roy. Batting second, Kennedy Quinn. Batting third, the shortstop, Sydney Lezovich. Cleaning up will be the catcher, Ella Blank. Batting fifth, Paige Hammers, the third baseman. Sixth will be the designated player, Jillian Erickson. Batting seventh will be the center fielder, Aiden Lockwood. Eighth place batter will be Addison Gherkin, the first baseman. And batting ninth will be Alexis Heller. The Maple defense around the infield, Hankey and Hughes on the left side. Weber at second base. McLean will get the start at first. Getz will catch. Lola Weber will patrol left field. Hagel will be in center. And Gigi Hill will be in right. Abby Pinch getting the start in the circle this afternoon. Called strike to lead things off. J.C. Roy, the left fielder, at the plate. Pinch making her 13th appearance, 9th start of the season, has a 5-2 record, 41 and a third innings pitch. Hot shot to center field. Hagel there makes the catch.
Number 1, Kennedy Quinn.
Pinch has given up 44 runs, just 23 earned on 41 hits. Has struck out 22 to go along with 15 free passes. Kennedy Quinn took that scary collision in the top of the first inning. Now digs in at the plate. You just hope for her sake that might have been just a little moment where she had the wind knocked out of her.
Yeah, because they did converge very violently there, and she laid on the ground for a minute or so, which was wise on the Groves coaching staff's part. Just let her kind of get her bearings for a second and take a breath before they got her up. She looks to be okay.
It was a pop-up directly over the second base bag. And it was just 2 middle infielders converging on a ball. Neither could call really each other off because it was such a bang-bang play. And because the ball was directly over the bag, it's really, you know, neither position's ball. It's kind of whoever gets there, and it led to a very violent collision. Sydney Lezovich, third place batter, coming to bat here for the Falcons in the home half of the first inning. Pinch delivers, clean single into left center field. Lezovich going to take a big turn at first, and will head back with a single. First hit of the ball game for the Falcons.
Number 11.
Well, that's a good piece of hitting. She just sort of grooved it, and it got out to the outfield very quickly. It looked like it might even have gone past the outfield, but they weren't able to cut it off. Hold her to a single.
Brings up the cleanup hitter, Ella Blank. Blank, part of a ceremony between games talking about mental health and the importance of that. Slaps one down third baseline into left field. Back-to-back singles. This Falcon offense starting to flex their muscles.
Well, they didn't want to get shut out again, and they're showing it here early in this game, number 2 in their half. They're working against 2 outs, but they've got a couple runners on base. A chance to tie this one up.
Abby Pinch, a much different style from game 1 starter Sage Allen. Pinch really up. She kind of bounces around in that circle, gives the ball a couple pounds into the glove.
Yeah, there's an intensity level there you can notice.
Now settles on the first base side of the rubber. That's a foul ball. Paige hammers, couldn't tuck that one in along that third baseline. So Pinch kind of starts over on the first base side of the rubber, and by the time she delivers it, she's almost on the third base side. There's a lot of movement going on. Get a good look at it here. Well, that time she went with the off-speed pitch. Good block by Getz, but both runners able to advance, and now all of a sudden the Falcons have 2 runners in scoring position. Pinch with that full cage. Sunglasses on as well. A very intimidating presence in the circle.
And you can tell, we don't have a radar gun back here, but the velocity on her pitches are much more noticeably sped up from what we saw in the first game.
That was back-to-back off-speed pitches. This time she gets Hammers fishing at an outside pitch. Hammers strikes out swinging. Falcons threaten but do not score. They leave 2 in scoring position after 1 inning of softball. It's the Maples 1, the Falcons nothing.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Top of the second inning, Maples in front 1-0. Brad Fetters alongside Andy Aubrey for BACB Sports. Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Maples took game 1 10-0 in a mercy rule finish. Abby Pinch to lead things off. The pitcher looking to help her cause here at the plate. Designated player Reagan Johnson will take the spot of the catcher Madeline Getz. So Pinch able to bat here as the pitcher. A little bit of a wrinkle to this game of softball where you can designate anyone in your starting lineup. It's always funny to me, because typically growing up throughout Little League, your best athletes, your best baseball players typically play what 2 positions? Shortstop and pitcher.
Yep.
So why by the time do we get to the major leagues, pitcher doesn't bat, can't bat? I mean, Verlander could never seem to get
horrible
get
by
a
his
hit
own
in early
admission.
Play.
I mean, he looked like a fish out of water up there. One of the greatest pitchers in the game.
Pinch carries.
Oh, she hit that off her leg, or it looks like her foot maybe.
Pinch going to try to walk this one off. Have a little discussion with her head coach, Bill Sherman. Leans down on the bat.
Now, there were some pitchers who were pretty good hitters. Mickey Lolich, I remember 60s era Tigers. He could hit the ball pretty well.
Hit a home run in the World Series,
Yeah.
68 World Series, did it not? Remember when Bartolo Colon went deep? It was the most shocking home run in maybe Major League Baseball history.
Yeah, he looked a very unlikely hitting hero.
Abby Pinch carries a 300 average into play this afternoon. 3 homers to go along with 15 RBI. Becca Hagel. She has an impressive stat line. All of her hits this season have been singles.
Well, name of the game's getting on base, right? Hitting your teammates around. It's a good way to do it.
Seaholm's team average 346, 158 runs on the season. As Pinch rolls one down to Hammers, who goes across the diamond. 5-3 goes the putout.
Still have the
first baseman, number 12,
fashionably late arriving crowd coming to the game here.
Leah McLean, the first baseman, 293 average, 8 singles, 3 doubles, and a triple on the season. Big thanks to Jeff Weber for providing today's stats. Called strike out of the right hand of Emma Borkowski, getting the start here in game number 2. Base hit into right field, served out there perfectly by Leah McLean. Third hit of the ball game for the Maples, all singles.
Number 4, Gigi Hill.
We'll bring up Gigi Hill. Hill, 391, 18 hits, 14 of them singles, 3 doubles, a triple, and she has plenty of speed. One of the team leaders in runs this season with 26. And when she gets on base, she causes all kinds of havoc on the base paths. 20 steals on the season, and this is a Maples team. They haven't done a lot of it in either one of these games thus far, but it's a team that likes to steal bases. 92 steals on the season, and Andy, they've only been caught 4 times.
That is ridiculous.
A 96% steal rate on the season. Going down to get it. A little soft serve into right center field. It's going to get past the center fielder Lockwood, and it will allow a run to score. A very awkward slide into home plate.
Yeah, she didn't even need to slide, really. The ball was still in the outfield, but hey, it counted.
So the official score up in the press box. We'll call it a double. It allows McLean to score. Misplay in the outfield allows Gigi Hill down to third. A little chin music. Knocks down Reagan Johnson.
Is that a purchase pitch? A purpose pitch?
Well, can't get comfortable at the plate. Not sure if that's what the intent was. Terrific block there by Blank.
Well, she kind of leans down into it. If you look at her stance, it might have been a purpose pitch. She's tall, and she really kind of digs in.
So to speak. There's really no digging in here.
So to speak. Yeah, right. Digging into the plastic grass.
An open stance, crouched slightly, rests the back on the back shoulder, takes a look at another pitch low. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on the designated player, Johnson. 1 run in here in the second inning, 1 out. Good hitters count here for Johnson. I'll take a look at a called strike to fill up the count. Corner defense plays straight up with the bag. Middle of this Falcon defense in the infield straight up, as is the outfield. Johnson, line shot. Quinn couldn't come up with it.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Hope Hughes.
don't think we can give Johnson an RBI there. I would say that was probably a ball that Quinn should have made.
Well, I don't know about that. She did range over. She got a glove on it. They say if you get your glove on it, you should be able to make the
Now
play.
batting the second baseman, number 10, Emma Weber.
Brings up Emma Weber. Snap throw down to first. Johnson back with a head first slide. Now we have seen some very strange looking slides on this artificial surface on the infield.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Brad, because I did notice on I was watching that early, and there's a hit. They did seem to slide pretty well on it, but that last play at home was not indicative of that. She kind of got her cleats hung up in it, and she tumbled head over heels and landed on home plate. But it probably takes some practice if you've been used to playing on dirt since Little League.
Now Lola Weber at the plate fouls it away, and it's very noticeable that she is not wearing a traditional baseball cleat. It almost looks like the kind of soft rubber cleats, kind of like the nubbin cleats now that a lot of golfers wear.
Yeah, like a golf shoe, right? Well, regardless of what the bottoms look like, I guarantee there's a bunch of little black pebbles inside of them, just like just about all these players. Anytime you run around on this new surfaces.
Pitch misses up, quick throw back to the pitcher. And a base hit through the box. Sherman going to play it aggressive and will allow Johnson to score the third run of the inning. Hits starting to pile up for the Maples in the inning.
Yeah, it took them a while to get going that first game. It was mid-game before they started pushing runs across the plate, but they ended up pushing a bunch of them across, and they're doing the same thing in this game so far.
Rebecca Hagel. Pitch misses up in the zone. She had a single back in the first. I mentioned all of her hits this season have been singles. Lola Weber, she mentioned her stat line, 309, 2 homers and 14 RBI on the season.
The third baseman, number 17, Sophia Henke.
So Maples bat around here in the second inning. Henke, the 9th Maple to bat.
Plate's starting to move around a little bit.
Yeah, Borkowski unable to really settle in. And really nice play by the shortstop, Lezovic. Gets the force out at second base, but damage done in the form of 3 runs. Maples lead it 4-0.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
6, 7, 8 coming to bat for the Falcons. Jillian Erickson to lead things off. Slow grounder down to the third baseman, Henke. High throw brought down by McLean. 1 up, 1 down. 4-0 our score. Maples in front of the Falcons. Aiden Lockwood's first at bat of the ball game. Called strike. No balls, 1 strike to count on the 7th place batter. Lockwood getting the start out in center field for the Falcons. Addison Gherkin waits on deck. There's a hot shot into shallow center field for a single. 3rd hit of the game for Groves. Able to string a couple singles back-to-back in the first, but left both runners on base. They finished game 1 with just 4 hits. So have nearly matched that total through an inning and a half here in game number 2. Mentioned Addison Gherkin getting her first action in this doubleheader. Left-handed batter, holds the bat high in her stance. Gherkin a slightly closed stance. Good pitcher's pitch on the outer part of the plate. So at times in game number 1, the Falcons tried to play some small ball, putting some runners on the move, tried a couple different things in terms of bunting.
Well, I think they got to swing away. I mean, bunting, now they're down 4 here. They can't let this slip away too much further.
Going after it and following it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes a count on the first baseman. Just underway here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Seaholm has struck first. 1 run in the first, 3 runs in the second, lead it 4-0. Aiden Lockwood, the runner down at first base. Pitch misses outside. Runs the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. We'll see if they put the runner in motion here with the full count. She went that way, and Gherkin able to lace a single and up. She's going to stretch it for extra bases, and will do just that. Gherkin, a double, puts 2 runners in scoring position now for Alexis Heller.
Well, really nice at bat for Gherkin. She was patient, fouled off a couple, took some close pitches that were called balls, and then she finally got one she could do something with, and she placed it down the left field line for a double, and Groves is in business here with 1 out.
Heller does square around. And now bad throw back to the pitcher. Doesn't get far enough away for Lockwood to score.
I think she might have had a chance. If she'd have taken off, she would have had to be quick about it. She actually thought about it after she had stopped.
Now the corner infielders come in. She swings away and hammers it into right field. 1 run scores. Falcons going to try to get the second run across. And safe the call at second. So Heller, a single, 2 RBI, and the Falcons, for the first time all afternoon, push their first 2 runs across.
And this is just what the doctor orders for Groves. They got the timely hits they needed, been stringing them along, a little aggressive base running going on, and find themselves cutting this deficit in half now at 4-2, and still only 1 out, runner on second. And they're in pretty good shape, actually. They do not seem intimidated at all by this pitcher, and she came out like a house on fire, but the Groves Falcons have found a way. And they got some momentum going.
How about the production out of 7, 8, 9 in this Falcon lineup?
A couple of those being left-handed batters too, and maybe that little bit of a switch up is what they needed, but they were all good at bats.
Lineup turns back over to the very top. J.C. Roy 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to the center fielder Hagel back in the first. Heller able to take second base on the throw home. Gherkin in with the slide ahead of the tag. Four to our score. Maples in front. Pinch. This is up and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Frustration perhaps setting in just a little bit for Pinch. She looks over at her visitor's dugout and pumps a strike right down the heart of the plate. That pitch misses low, so base on ball. 4 straight batters reaching.
Number 1, Kennedy Quinn.
Big opportunity here for the Falcons to absolutely have a huge inning, and that's going to get a conference at the mound. Just hoping to calm Abby Pinch down just a bit.
Yeah, she's found the plate to be an elusive target for her, and that walk, she's given up a couple of hits now, so it's been tough sled. They're going to stay with her for now, though.
Gets her catcher, gives her a little pat on the back, try to settle her down just a bit. Kennedy Quinn popped up to the first baseman McLean in her first plate appearance. Takes a look at a strike. That's a good take there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You want to make sure that she earns it, and she did a good job. She found the plate and got that leadoff strike.
Sydney Lezovich waits in the on-deck circle. Lezovich 1 for 1 already with a single. So Falcons starting to find their stride a little bit. Now a bunt attempt. Quinn misses, so quickly no balls, 2 strikes. Good to see Quinn staying in this ball game. Quinn thought about it, as did the home plate umpire. He kind of flinched just a little bit.
I kind of waited. He called it a ball. It was a little high. I think it's a good call.
Pinch comes home with it, off speed. Quinn swings through it and misses. Second strikeout of the ball game for Pinch. 2 outs now in the inning, and it'll bring up Sydney Lezovich. 4-2 our score. Maples in front. Lezovich quickly down to third. Heads up play by Hankey to take the short out at third. Put out his third out of the inning. 2 runs in finally for the Falcons. After 2 innings of play, the Maples lead it 4-2.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Picture perfect weather here in Beverly Hills. Hot shot back to the circle, and they will get the out. Lezovich, very heads up play. 1-6-3 goes the put out.
The first baseman, number 12, Leah McLean.
Borkowski getting just enough on that ball to kind of slow it up. It changed angles. Lezovich able to charge in and make the play. Good strong throw over to Gherkin. Got pinched by a couple steps. McLean pops one up. Oh, what a play by Blank, the catcher. You will not see a better play by a catcher all season long. Whoa!
The right fielder.
And let's not
number
forget
4,
that ball had some spin on it. So not only did she have to adjust her body and then twist backwards, she was able to hold on.
3 outs, I think, on 3 pitches there for Emma Borkowski. It's Gigi Hill grounds one back to Borkowski. Needless to say, that was a very eventful 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Falcons looking to get themselves back in this game. They trail 4-2.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Abby Pinch back in the circle. 3rd inning of work has a 4-2 lead.
number 11.
Heart of the order coming to bat for the Falcons. 4, 5, 6. Ella Blank, the catcher. You make a big play in the defensive half of the 3rd inning, and then of course you come up and you bat leadoff.
You're the first one up.
In the home half of the 3rd.
Happens all the time.
Blank hammers Erickson. Blank already 1 for 1 with a single. And lofts this one into shallow left. Good effort by Hughes. Comes up empty, and all of a sudden Ella Blank quickly 2 for 2 in the game.
Well, Groves leads off with a hit and sort of picking up where they left off last inning, where they were able to scratch a couple across. So they want to show the home fans here that they're not going to get swept on their own field by their rivals.
Already 6 hits in this game for the Falcons. Two balls, no strikes to count now on Paige Hammers. Hammers 1 of 2 strikeouts on the afternoon for Abby Pinch. Swung on, fouled away down the 3rd baseline. Game 1 got off to a very quiet start. It was quite a pitcher's duel through the first half of the game, and then things started to slowly unravel defensively for the Falcons. A couple miscues out in the field. Runner takes off for second base. Another awkward slide by Blank down at second. That was maybe more of just a hesitation, not sure whether or not she should or should not slide. She decides to get down and dirty, so to speak.
Well, she's on second nonetheless, nobody out.
Good pitcher's pitch on the outer black. We'll fill up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. The count on Hammers. Runner in scoring position down at second base. 4-2 Maples in front of the Falcons. And there's a walk, and this time Blank will take 3rd. So Falcons got something cooking here in the bottom of the 3rd. First 2 runners on base. Runners at the corners now for Jillian Erickson.
And these extra bases are seemingly coming rather easily for Groves right now, and those are runs waiting out there.
Whoa, like an ephus pitch.
That was just here. Go ahead, hit it. It's a lob pitch.
So we talked about you struggling to hit some of this pitching. I think you could have got a hold of that one.
I could have caught up to that one.
I think it just caught Erickson by surprise. Pinch comes home with it. Fouled away. Didn't even flinch, did you?
No, that's false sense of security here. We got nets and windows and screens and everything in front of us now.
Definitely spared no expense. Beautiful facility here at Groves High School. That one bounces right on top of home plate.
Yeah, maybe we should. I'm looking at that outfield again. Maybe we should get Tom Flynn to do like an Anaheim Stadium, just some big rocks out there. You know, huge, like a small mountain.
Oh, that's not like a BMX track out there to do
that would
tricks
be good too.
On those dirt piles, yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So she's taken all of her velocity off her pitches. She's just sort of throwing little change-ups now. Not sure if that's designed to keep the Groves hitters off or her arm's getting tired.
Hot shot down to third. And Hankey kind of struggled to get a grip on the softball.
Yeah,
so that'll be a fielder's choice. Because
she'd been better off going to first.
Could have easily got the out.
But you know, Brad, you always feel like you can make that play. You got to cut down that lead runner. In the back of your mind, you want to be the hero.
Now we're bunting. Aiden Lockwood. So we'll call it a fielder's choice. We'll give Erickson an RBI. Blank scores. Nobody out. That's the main thing. 4-3 our score. Lockwood squared around and bunted on the first pitch. That'll force the corner infielders to come in anticipating the bunt. Now Abby Pinch bounces one up in front of home plate.
And she has bounced a number of these recent pitches. So, again, I go back to the fact that, I don't know if her arm's okay or this is a tactic, but Groves has taken advantage of it with the good eye and some nice hits.
Lockwood swings and comes up empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Erickson down at first base. Hammers down at second. Nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Aiden Lockwood. 4-3. Seaholm in front of the Groves Falcons. Little tough play. The ball bounces and spins back. Looks like one of your wedge shots, Andy.
Yeah, that was my
your lob wedge.
A sand wedge.
Yeah, well,
I hit that, and I got just the right amount of backspin on it.
Playing those Pro V1s, lots of spin on those.
Oh yeah.
Good play, heads up play defensively for the Maples to know that ball was going to spin foul. And Lockwood flies one to shallow right field. Runner was tagging up at second base. Oh boy. Falcons nearly ran themselves into an out there. That would have been a force at third base. Instead, it's a single, and it will load the bases for Addison Gherkin, who doubled and came around to score in the second.
Well, she had to hold up. She wasn't sure it was going to drop in, and once it did, it was time to get on her high horse to move over there, and she did, as you mentioned, Brad, just make it into third on time.
Gherkin takes a look at a strike. Hammers at third. Erickson at second. Lockwood at first. Base is loaded. Chock full of Falcons. Corner infielders anticipating a bunt. Gherkin swings. They get the force at third. What a play there by Hughes.
Nice backup by the shortstop. Hughes came in, had her third bases back, and was able to stretch out and touch the bag. So that's the first out of the inning.
Run scores to make it 4-4. 4-4 our score. Alexis Heller now. She squares around a bunt. This time she gets it down. Can't get the play at first. Oh boy, now confusion all over the place. And now,
yeah, that's bad here. Base running blunder there. Straight too far. Didn't realize third hadn't gone home and found herself out kind of in Nowheresville.
So Heller with the bunt single. Lockwood at second base as Jillian Erickson did not come home.
number 6.
So the Falcons run themselves into an out, the second out of the inning. And J.C. Roy now at the plate, the leadoff hitter. 0 for 1, flew out to the center fielder Hagel and also walked back in the second inning. Pitch misses inside.
No pitch clock here. It's actually a batter's clock sometimes.
Hot shot back to pinch, in and out of her glove. Not going to be able to scramble and get the runner. We'll call it a single off the bat of Roy. Erickson scores, RBI for Roy, and for the first time all evening long, the Falcons have taken a lead. It is now 5-4.
Well, Seattle was looking like they were going to dodge a bullet and get out of that without too much damage and either hold a lead or just keep it tied, but instead Groves gets the tough hit, which ends up being just enough to push that 5th run home. So they catch a break, Groves themselves, after having run out of an even bigger situation earlier.
Quick bat. Kennedy Quinn laced one foul down the third baseline. Coach Baldridge had to be heads up down there in that third base coach's box. Talking to Tom Flynn in between games. He said, what do you think of the softball diamond? I said, well, it's a fabulous facility. And he kind of made mention that Coach Baldridge was involved in the design of the stadium and everything that he wanted and more. As that pop up to the shortstop, Hughes, for the final out of the inning. But what an inning it was for the Falcons. They push across 3 runs on 4 hits and now lead it 5-4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Reagan Johnson, the designated player, to lead things off in the 4th inning. She's 1 for 1 with a run scored. That was a official change to scoring. I initially gave the second baseman for Groves, Kennedy Quinn, an error. Official score up here in the press box changed it to a base hit. So Johnson 1 for 1. Andy, that's a maybe perhaps a little bit of a hometown scorekeeper, giving Johnson credit for a single rather than an error on the defense. Padding those stats, maybe.
Maybe just a little.
Maples, for the first time, trail now. Mentioned both teams now with identical 12-7 records on the season. Swung on and fouled straight back.
And there goes whoever iPhone that was hanging in the net. It's now getting a good shot of the sky.
Grounder to the shortstop. Lezovic quickly across the diamond. 6-3. The put out.
The shortstop, number 3, Hope Hughes.
For the most part, the defense has been fairly solid in both these games. We've seen disasters in the past, Brad, and you know what I'm talking about. Years past, just everything but making solid plays.
Seeing eye single off the bat of Hope Hughes. Oh, she overslid second. And they're going to call her out. Oh, boy.
She was dead to rights, and then They still missed her. She slid past the bag and ends up getting tagged out. That's the old humanity of it all. Groves heads up play there, though.
Leaves things up now to Emma Weber. So from my understanding, this infield surface is supposed to react like a normal dirt surface would, and the grass obviously reacts like regular grass would. As there's another base hit, and that takes an awkward bounce.
The left fielder, number 6, Lola Weber.
I don't know, Andy. You and I will have to go down there and do some practice sliding.
I would have brought my mitt. I would have thought about it. We could have hit a few grounders afterwards. I didn't even think of that, actually. But I don't know how in the world it could react the same. It's just very flat surface without any rocks. And I know they rake their natural fields and so on, but come on. It's artificial surface, right?
Lola Weber, 1 for 2 in this ball game. Fly out to the center fielder as this ball gets past Blank, the catcher.
I remember when COVID ended and the first sports that came back were those Korean baseball games at like 5, 6 in the morning. And I remember those fields looked like they were the old like Houston Astrodome fields, that old AstroTurf.
Weber lifts one. Lezovic, the shortstop, camps under it and makes the catch. They get a runner in scoring position, a couple singles, but nothing to show for it. We head to the home half of the 4th inning. The Falcons in front, 5-4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
It'll be 3-4-5 in the Falcon lineup to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Falcons in front, 5-4. Sydney Lezovic squeezed the 3rd out of the inning, comes up to the plate, singles through the box. Lezovic collects her 2nd hit of the ball game. Boy, oh boy, these Falcons have come to play in this game number 2. That is already their 10th hit of this ball game.
Yeah, much different approach this game, much more aggressive in the box. They are swinging, and they're making good swings, and it's paying off for them because they just look like a much more confident team all of a sudden.
This is a very dangerous bat. Blank, 2 for 2. Run scored, a stolen base. Both of her hit singles. Takes a look at a called strike.
What did they eat between games? Maybe we should check into that. Not alleging any improprieties, but whatever it was, must have worked.
It was a good halftime feast, huh? And now Blank bunts, and the ball makes contact with her. So she is out. Boy, oh boy, I don't know. I'm not going to second guess Coach Baldridge, but that's a hot bat. Square around to bunt.
Yeah, I mean, I get wanting to scratch a couple more across, but your team has been swinging the bat really well. So, swing away, ladies.
Paige hammers, takes a look at a called strike. 0 for 1, strikeout victim back in the 1st. Walked and came around to score in the 3rd. A very explosive 3rd inning for the Falcons as they pushed across 3. Uh-oh. They had Lezovic in between 1st and 2nd. And Lezovic goes down to 2nd base. Boy, what a contrast in styles of scoreboard. We gave Tom Flynn an earful. The last scoreboard was so small, remember?
Yeah,
down the right
really
field
was.
line.
Yeah.
And now we get the full 9-inning scoreboard.
Oh, yeah. No, massive improvement. Big upgrade.
So that pass ball allows Lezovic to go down to 3rd. This is a big insurance run here in these middle innings. If Hammers is able to drive Lezovich home. Ooh. Getz held that ball a tick longer, trying to sell that call. Doesn't get it. 3 ball, 1 strike, the count on Paige Hammers, the third baseman. Hammers crouch stance. Takes a look at a called strike on the black. Full count. Wind has died down. No breeze, so to speak of. Not a cloud in the sky.
Oh, it is pleasant. This is one of the nicest evenings we've had all year. And Grove still making it difficult on Seaholm. No easy at bats here for Seaholm, and we're gonna maybe see a pitching change.
Second walk for Hammers, and that will do it. Abby Pinch's day is done, and they will turn it over to Bush. Bush will come in relief while she does her tune-up tosses. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Adele Bush in relief of Abby Pinch. Welcome back. Continuing coverage here on BACB Sports of this varsity softball game between the Maples and the Falcons. Jillian Erickson at the plate. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Runners on the corners. Bush's first pitch misses up. 5-4. Falcons in the lead, looking to add on. Called strike. Runner takes off for second. Throw goes to the shortstop. I think that was designed that way. I think. You have Hughes kind of sort of charge in and probably try to cut that throw off in case the runner from third tries to break home.
Right, and she was in a much better position to throw home at that point, but no matter, she didn't come, so. And then she didn't make the clean catch either, so.
No harm, no foul.
No.
We'll call it, you know what we'll call it? We'll call it defensive indifference.
That sounds good.
Puts Hammers down at second base. Lezovich, the runner, at third. So 2 runners in scoring position. Floater down the right field line, falls foul off the bat of Jillian Erickson. Big moment in this ball game.
Oh, definitely. Groves has a chance to really put some distance between themselves and Seaholm with a big hit here.
Ball skips up. It's going to be a wild pitch.
Well, it's one way to push one across. Just scamper home on a wild pitch.
6-4 now. Falcons in front. And it also allows Hammers to go down to third. Erickson follows one back. This time the camera looks good.
Still
stands
good.
At below. Yeah.
It took a bit of a direct hit, though. I don't know.
3-2 the count to Erickson. Payoff pitch fouled back. It's the very top of the protective netting. Pitch misses inside. Erickson discards the bat. Hammers wisely stays down at third, so it'll put runners back on the corners now for Aiden Lockwood. Lockwood, a perfect 2 for 2 in this ball game, 2 singles and a run scored. Takes a look at a called strike right down the middle. Must have been an instance there where Lockwood was looking for something else. That time she didn't appear to be quite set in the batter's box. Erickson goes down to second.
And pitching has suddenly become an adventure.
Bush making her 9th appearance of the season, comes in with a record of 2-2. Hot shot to the shortstop, out of the reach of Hughes. Coach Baldridge sending the runner home. They're going to nail her at the plate. Erickson cut down at home. RBI single for Lockwood. Second out of the inning comes on the throw from the left fielder Lola Weber. An absolute seed from left field.
Yeah, they needed a good throw to get her, and that's exactly what they got. And it was a close play, but no question about it for the second out.
Lockwood goes down to second on the throw home. So 2 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th. Grove 7-4 now. Addison Gherkin 1 for 2. Looking ahead to the top of the 5th inning, it'll be 4, 5, 6 for the Maples. Hagel, Hankey, and Pinch. We know Adele Bush has come in for Pinch. I assume Bush will bat, but you never know.
You just never know. These
Rules are a
coaches
little quirky, yeah, a little quirky.
Looking for that edge.
That ball bounces up.
Well, see, I'm living dangerously here. There's some openings Groves has taken advantage of, some of these bounced pitches and just barely hits and that sort of thing, but they're still within striking distance if they can somehow squeak out of this inning.
Well, we know this Maple offense can put up runs in bunches. If you go back to game number 1, they scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Mercy 10-0 win over Groves. Gherkin just staying alive, doing everything she can to follow that pitch away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-4 Falcons lead. And another base on balls. 3rd issued in this inning by the pitching staff, and boy, oh boy.
I'm not sure what that was. She was walking to first, and she tried to take second, like no one was paying attention, and she was embarrassed. I mean, honestly, they had her by a mile.
One would anticipate that's kind of a design play to draw a thrower, perhaps catch the defense napping. Credit to the Maples. They weren't caught off guard as they cut down Gherkin at second base for the 3rd out of the innings. 4 innings in the books, rather, with the Falcons in front, 7-4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
If you like offense, you've come to the right place. Falcons 7, Maples 4. Top of the 5th inning. Rebecca Hagel to lead things off. 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Hagel now with 20 hits, Andy, on the season. All of them singles. Yeah. 3 hits in the doubleheader.
It's much simpler that way.
Came in to play this doubleheader with a .340 average. It's 1 for 1 in this game. Finished 2 for 3, so 3 for 4. She's going to raise that average. It's pretty hard to do when you're batting 340.
Yeah, that's not too shabby.
18 for 17.
So we'll get a pinch hitter now.
Your attention, please. Now batting number 18, Aaron Shekel.
It'll be Shekel to bat for Hankey. Did you get any sort of indication from the official scorer on that last play, Andy, from Hagel? Oh, they say error this time.
Well, at least we got that ironed out.
Two balls, no strike to count on Aaron Shekel. Rebecca Hagel's got to be like, come on, that was a clean single, right? Strike on the inner corner. Shekel grounds one to third base. Going to try to go around the horn. Nearly impossible at turn two in the game of softball.
Two is rare. I'm not sure we've seen very many double plays in the years we've been calling these games.
So now we'll get a pinch hitter for Adele Bush. It'll be Sage Allen.
Fire that back, kid.
So Coach Sherman really mixing and matching. Kind of a statistician's nightmare. Kind of makes your scorebook a little bit of a mess.
Did you bring any whiteout with you? There's no whiteout in baseball, right? No liquid paper.
I am keeping score with a pen, which might be a
that's
grave mistake.
Rethink that and bring a pencil.
I do have a pencil, but I think the feel of a pen just a little bit better. So back-to-back pinch hitters here in the fifth inning. One down, 7-4. Falcons in front of the Maples here in game two of this doubleheader. Looking for the doubleheader split. We've called enough of these series to kind of get a sense that that's sometimes what happens.
Probably more splits than anything, I would say, than sweeps.
Sage Allen started game one in the circle. Didn't have an at-bat in game one. And swings through that full count pitch. Goes down.
Now batting number 12,
swinging.
Leah McLean.
And that is Borkowski's first strikeout of this ball game. We'll leave things up to Leah McLean. 1 for 2. Single and a run scored.
Borkowski gets that momentum going, doesn't she?
Well, she's not overpowering hitters, but she can kind of change their eye level. That was a little bit of a drop pitch there. Riser misses up and away. Kind of changes speeds at time.
But it's that momentum she's had working for her. She doesn't have an overly, stature necessarily imposing, but
Lezovic shovels it over to Quinn at second base. 6-4 goes the putout. Through 4.5 innings of play, Falcons 7, Maples 4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
So another pitching change for the Maples. Sage Allen, the Game 1 starter, in relief of Adele Bush. So third pitcher of this game for the Maples. In the left-hand batter's box, 2 for 2, couple singles, couple RBI as well. Falcons looking for some additional insurance here, leading in game 2 of this doubleheader 7-4. Failed to score in the first, pushed 2 runs across in the second, scored 3 in the third, added 2 more on in the fourth. And it was after Seaholm took a very early lead, 4-0. Seaholm scored 1 run in the first, 3 in the second to take that 4-0 lead, and have watched the Falcons now score 7 straight runs.
Yeah, there's been nothing but zeros up there in the third, fourth, and fifth for Seaholm, so they're going to need to come back with some late game heroics if they're going to sweep both ends of this doubleheader.
Shallow pop-up. Hughes makes the play. She is pretty sure-handed at that shortstop position. She has been tested throughout this doubleheader.
Number 6, J.C. Roy.
Yeah, she has to be, and she ranged over nicely there, real smooth. 2 hands, just the way they teach you.
J.C. Roy, 1 for 2, a flyout, a base on balls, and a single. Takes a mighty cut and comes up empty. So Abby Pinch kind of changed speeds throughout. Del Bush, mainly fastballs. Now Sage Allen for sure coming with some heat. There's that high fastball. Roy swings and misses. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. You made mention baseball teams will play a 3-game series this week. We will have games 1 and 2 on our BACB Sports airwaves. If you want to catch those baseball games, or if you've missed any portion of this doubleheader, you can tune us in online, bloomfieldtwp.org, or the Birmingham Area Cable Board website, as Roy squares around, gets down the perfect bunt, and they call her safe. Infield single.
That's getting down there quickly, and she had to because that ball only went about 8 feet in front of home plate. Everything was executed well, but she took off so fast after she bunted it that she was able to beat it out.
Should also make mention our full games are also on YouTube. Bloomfield Community Television YouTube page. Best way to navigate your way through YouTube is to give our channel a subscription. Hit the subscribe button. Get email notifications of when all of our content is available to you on YouTube. Kennedy Quinn looking for her first hit of the game. 0 for 3. A pop-up to the first baseman, a strikeout, and a pop-up to the shortstop. Runner takes off for second. High throw underneath the tag. Stolen base for J.C. Roy. Throw beater. It was just kind of up the first base side of second base. Hughes had to go up to get the ball and apparently missed the tag. Now
they call for a replay?
yeah, unfortunately, we can't provide the umpire any sort of replay. Coach Cormier asking for an explanation. He got one. He might not agree with the explanation, but he got one.
Well, I don't know if it had to do with that throw down to second, which they called her safe. I I looked at, he did beat, I don't know. She looked like she did beat the throw. She slid. She was under the tag, I believe.
Quinn now squares around to punt. Seeing a bit of that out of Coach Baldridge today.
Well, both teams have had their moments of getting aggressive on the base pass with varying degrees of success.
Runner takes off for third. And she's going to break for home now. A little bit of a hesitation. High throw. So Quinn strikes out. Roy steals third and comes home on the overthrow.
Well, that's basically just saying you can't make a throw, and if you're going to get us out, you have to throw it on the plate, which that throw was not. And from short left field, it sailed high, and Groves has got their 8th run on the board.
Lezovich at the plate. 8th run of the ball game across home plate. 8-4 now. Falcons lead the Maples. That's just creating offense there. Roy singles, steals second, steals third, and comes home on the errant throw by Getz.
Yeah, when she first broke for home, I thought there was no way she was going to make it. But when that ball sailed high, it's like, well, okay, I think that's what they were hoping for on that walk that they tried to stretch into a 2-baser.
Lezovich pops one up to the first baseman, McLean. Damage done. Another run in for the Falcons. After 5 innings of play, they lead it 8-4.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Maples running out of opportunities to get back in this game. Trail 8-4. Gigi Hill to lead things off.
Right fielder number 4, Gigi Hill.
Gigi Hill swinging a hot bat, Andy. If you remember correctly, in game 1 of this doubleheader, she had a single, she had a double, she had a triple. She didn't get the bat to try to complete the cycle. She only had 3 at-bats in game number 1. Has picked up another double here in game number 2. So 2 doubles in the afternoon for Gigi Hill. 4 for 5 in the doubleheader.
Well, she's got some wheels. That's one thing. She bought her that triple. And triple's the tough one, too. Although home runs are no picnic in softball, but she's struggled a little bit more here in this second game.
Hill now with 22 hits on the season. 5 doubles to go along with 2 triples. Hill came into play with a .391 average, 13 RBI, 26 runs, and maybe the most impressive stat of all, those 20 steals.
Yeah, I mean, you see how fast she got down there, even on that little foul ball. She was practically on first base before it dropped.
Nice job by our BACB Sports crew this afternoon. Bradley, David, and Connor working the cameras. We'll tap back to Borkowski, the pitcher. 1 up, 1 down.
The DP, number 7, Ray Johnson.
Lee Solomon and Mike Kottmeyer working behind the scenes for this doubleheader. Hard to believe, but the spring sports season winding to a close, Andy.
Where did it all go? We say this every year.
There's a clean base hit up the middle by Reagan Johnson. Her second hit of the ball game. We'll turn it over to the very top of this Mapes lineup.
Number 3, Hope.
And it'll be Hope Hughes, 2 for 3 in this ball game. So Maples looking to do a little one-out damage. Top of the lineup, Hughes swings. Gonna be a tough play. Lezovic, the ball checks up right into her hand. So Johnson has to stop at second, back-to-back base hits. And all of a sudden, the Maples have something cooking.
They got a little something. That's how it works. Keep stringing them together. Smart at bats, put the ball in play, anything can happen.
The Weber's coming to bat. It'll be Emma first. Lola waits in the on-deck circle. Emma Weber 2 for 3 with a couple singles and an RBI. This game far from over. Borkowski going to have to navigate her way around a couple base runners now. She comes home with the pitch, misses low. Johnson, the runner, at second. Hope Hughes down at first. Third baseman hammers, couple steps in. Right center gap. It's going to fall in front of the center fielder, Lockwood. Lezovic cuts it off, fires home. The first run's in. They're going to get the second runner at home plate. So Johnson scores, and right on her heels was Hughes, who gets cut down at home.
Well, that took a good throw to get her, which is exactly what happened.
Yep, got it, I'm sorry. 20 for 6.
So Lola Weber removed. And it'll be Mary Gumbis, the sophomore.
Now batting, number 20, Mary Gumbis.
So 8-5 the score.
We've seen some plays at home. Definitely been a couple bang-bang plays that needed good throws.
And Hope Hughes was right on the heels of Reagan Johnson. It appeared Johnson kind of held up to make sure that ball was caught. Hope Hughes appeared to be running right from the crack of the bat. And it was kind of one of those plays where Blank caught the ball, almost applied a tag directly on Johnson, and kind of had to do a switcheroo to get the tag down on Hughes instead. Fakes a couple throws down to third, as Weber eventually made her way down to third base after all those throws. But terrific cut and throw by Lezovic at her shortstop position. A little soft serve single to center field will plate Emma Weber. So Mary Gumbis, an RBI single.
Comes in, the pinch hitter, and delivers a big 2-out hit. 8-6. They inch a little bit closer now. They're starting to grip a little on the Grove side.
8-6 our score, brings up Rebecca Hagel. 1 for 2. Has been on base all 3 times. Single, a walk, and reached on an error by the third baseman Hammers. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of Blank. Ella Blank. Phenomenal catcher. Presents a big target. Borkowski can't find the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Hagel. Maple bench urging on a little 2-out rally. And Hagel floats one into center field. So 5 straight singles will bring up
the third baseman, number 18,
Aaron Shekel.
Aaron Shekel.
Well, Seome's not done yet. They are putting up a fight here and looking to do more 2-out damage as we're getting a little tighter down there. It's now 8-6. Borkowski just needs to make some pitches. Trust her fielders. She doesn't have to strike everybody out. She's in a good situation to get a force at any base and get them out of this inning. Seaholm's got other ideas, though, and they get some momentum going offensively all of a sudden.
Seaholm 6 runs now on 14 hits. Oh! Lezevich sends the throw to Quinn wide.
Sometimes the simplest of plays can be game changers and disastrous, and that's...
So fielder's choice error on the shortstop Lezevich. Abby Pinch now will re-enter the game for Sage Allen, who came
Now batting,
in.
number 15, Abby Pinch.
Keeping track of all this?
I've got it all. It's all straight. Yep. We're perfect. Everything's on the level here, and we're good to go.
So Abby Pinch
play
getting
some
the
ball.
start in the circle, got replaced by Adele Bush, but then Sage Allen came in to pinch hit for Abby Pinch, and then eventually came in to pitch.
I think part of the confusion are the names involved and the actors.
So Abby
That's
Pinch
adding it.
back in 0 for 2 after Sage Allen went 0 for 1. 8-7 our score. 3 runs in for the Maples here in the top of the 6th inning. Runners at the corners. Tying run at third base. Pinch. Straight away right field. Heller a couple steps, tracks it all the way, squeezes the glove for the final out of the inning. Maples pull closer. Falcons coming to bat. They lead 8-7.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Middle lineup for the Falcons in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sage Allen will remain in the game in the circle, back for her 2nd inning of work.
Well, Groves would certainly like some insurance runs at this point. They see their lead slipping away, and Seaholm's on the move, so see if they can do anything this inning. Time's getting tight.
Blank hammers Erickson due up here in the 6th. If you're looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, if you're a big Maple fan, it'll be 7, 8, 9, the bottom third of the batting order due up in the 7th. Ella Blank, couple singles. That one caught the home plate umpire. It's typically up to the catcher to give him a little bit of time now, right?
Right. That's professional courtesy.
Quite the teammate, the umpire and catcher form. Kind of always look out for one another. Blank knows that. She's a catcher. Ooh, good pitcher's pitch, framed well by Getz. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Ella Blank. She went after that inside pitch. And nice play by Getz. Able to pick that one off the screen. One up,
catch.
one down.
Yeah, she made a nice play. She stopped just short of the fence.
Number 13,
Gave herself about 18 inches before she had to make the basket catch, and it looked pretty smooth.
Both catchers have made terrific plays on pop-ups, and those are not easy with that ball, as you mentioned, kind of spinning. A lot of top spin or back spin on those. You got to be aware of where the protective netting is. Paige Hammers now 0 for 1, has been on base twice, came around to score both times. Reached base via walks in the 3rd and 4th innings.
There was a Seattle Mariner the other night that actually jumped into the netting at the Tiger game. It looked like Spider-Man.
And that one will not be played by Getz, as that one's fouled up and over everything. Jillian Erickson waiting on deck. Diving attempt by Hughes. She comes up empty. Base hit for Paige Hammers. She's been on base 3 times. And it will bring up Erickson, designated player in Brian Baldridge's lineup. Makes Erickson move her feet. Pitches, misses inside. 1 ball, no strike. The count on the designated player. Ground ball to the second baseman. Over to the shortstop. Double play. 4-6-3 on the twin killing. Nearly impossible to turn a double play in softball, but some terrific footwork by Emma Weber down at second base. Shuffles the ball over to Hughes at short, who goes across the diamond to McLean. The final outs of the 6th inning. Top of the 7th, last chance for the Maples. They trail 8-7.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Emma Borkowski back in the circle for the Falcons, looking to put the finishing touches on a complete game. First pitch of the 7th inning misses wide. Leah McLean. 1 for 3. Quickly up 2 balls, no strikes. Good hitters count here for the first baseman, McLean. Three straight pitches missing out of the zone. And 4 straight. Free pass to McLean.
Well, that's one way to get a rally started. Get that leadoff on the other side. Groves, yeah, you don't want to walk the leadoff, but that's what happens. So we'll see if they can get out of it. And Seaholm had a nice hitting inning last inning, and we'll see if they're able to extend on it. 5
straight pitches missing out of the strike zone, and now Coach Baldridge is going to want to talk things over with Borkowski. The entire infield offense will meet up in the circle. Campfire look there. Very dangerous bat at the plate, Gigi Hill. We've made mention of what she has accomplished here in this doubleheader. Huddle breaks.
Yeah, you might be inclined to suggest they're going to play a little small ball to tie it up, but the way she's been swinging the bat today, just let it fly.
Especially with Borkowski having a tough time finding the strike zone. Hill goes down after that one, fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leah McLean, the runner, down at first base. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, 8-7 Falcons in front. Up and in. Reagan Johnson waits her turn. She is the on-deck hitter. It'll be Hope Hughes in the hole. Hill at the plate. Takes a look at a 3-1 pitch for a called strike. Full count.
Can't watch it.
Gigi Hill, that slightly open stance. Tough play for Quinn, the second baseman. First out of the inning.
Well, this is nice range.
GP, number 7, Ray Johnson.
Range is over. She gets over. She makes the good catch. A lot of these corners who play in so tight. I mean, those shortstop and second baseman have to cover much more ground on those shallow pops like that.
Reagan Johnson 2 for 3 with a run scored. Pitch too tall. 1 ball, no strikes. Tying run at first base. Maple dugout making some noise. Borkowski. Johnson does not offer. 2 balls, no strikes to count on the designated player. Hammers, the third baseman, a couple steps in. Good pitcher's pitch by Borkowski for a called strike.
That pitch just clipped the outside corner.
Skips up, runner takes off for second. You like the aggressive play there as McLean swipes second and now all of a sudden is in scoring position. Good hitter's count on Johnson. 3 balls, 1 strike. Both corner infield positions now guarding the line, but also a couple steps in. Johnson takes a called strike on the inner half of the plate. A little bit of drama here in game number 2. Borkowski comes home, swung on. Shallow fly ball to center field. Lockwood drifts into the left center gap to make the catch.
Shortstop, number 3, Hope.
Well, nice catch there. Just sort of a floater into left center. Not much to it. And that's the second out of the inning.
That'll leave things up to Hope Hughes. 3 for 4, 3 singles. One would think a single would score. Leah McLean from second base. Borkowski swung on, line shot to left field, not deep enough, however, to plate the runner. And Hughes will take the extra base. Just too hard of a hit ball.
It was a hot shot. It was definitely turned around and brought back in quickly. So, yeah, Coach Sherman, he didn't want the game to end that way.
So the 4th hit of the game for Hughes brings up Emma Weber. 3 for 4, 3 singles. Takes a look at a called strike. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. What do they always say? Hardest out to get is the last one. Falcons trying desperately to get that final out. Hot shot to the third baseman. Hammers. Looky what I found. It finds the glove of Hammers, who goes across the diamond to get Weber. The final out of the game goes 5-3, and the Falcons somehow survive game 2 of this doubleheader by the final score of 8-7. You wanted drama, you got it here in game number 2. What a play by Paige Hammers, the third baseman. They call it the hot corner for a reason.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a hot shot down there. She put the leather on it. Nice strong throw across the diamond to finish this one off, but I might not have predicted that. The way that momentum shift looked like it was coming. Seaholm was right there, they had their shot, but they came up 1 run short, and Groves ends up salvaging the second half of the doubleheader.
Seaholm falls to 12-8. Groves improves to 13-7 on the season as they come away with the doubleheader sweep. Seaholm took game 1 10-0 in a mercy rule, but it's the Groves Falcons that somehow find a way to win this game number 2 by the final score of 8-7. A big thank you to Jeff Weber, the official statistician and PA announcer here at Seaholm High School, for all of his help. A big thanks to both coaching staffs as well. Nice job by our fantastic BACB sports crew. For Andy Aubrey, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Birmingham Groves High School. Once again, the final score in Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Groves Falcons 8, the Seaholm Maples 7. Thank you so much for watching this BACB Sports presentation. We hope to see you for the boys' baseball games 1 and 2 coming up later on this week. You'll see it live right here on BACB Sports.